awesome purity class. It is so key for us to have something like that just as women. And first I want to just introduce myself. My name is Venus Matthews, and I'm just so excited, like I said, to be here. I want to just dive in because I have some serious things that I really want to go over with you guys on today. I'm going to be talking about purity worth principles. And I'm going to start off with this. I'm sure everyone knows what this is, right? So you guys, this is going to be interactive. You guys can call it out, it's okay. Does everybody know what this is, right? Is what? Exactly. A price tag represents what? Value. So what is carried on the price tag? A price, right? Great. So my first question is, what is your worth? What is your worth? And I want you to take and meditate on it, not in a way of yesterday, but I'm talking about right now. What you're feeling, what you're going through, what you're embodying right now, how you feel with yourself. What is your worth? So, is my worth over here? Is it over there in them? Oh, no, wait. Is it in him? Or wait, maybe my worth is at that hotel. I wonder if my worth is at that club where I left it. I'm trying to figure out where I left my worth. Where's my value? Or was it in that abusive relationship that I allowed myself to get in unknowingly, unwillingly, but I ended up there in that place not understanding why I was there? Where is my value? So I want each of you to take a price tag and put an amount on here, telling yourself what your worth is. I don't want an amount that's going to be based off of what you think I want, what you think other people should see. I'm talking about a value of how you feel right now. So if it's $2, then that's no shade. But sometimes we feel like we're that low because the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we allow things to be done to us. So, thank you. So this is going to be fun and interactive. You got one, huh? Okay. Give you one too. So I just want you to write your value there. And then I want you to wear that tag. So once you're done, I want you to put this on your wrist because I want you to wear that value. My next question is, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself with that number? Let me get some feedback. Yes or no? Do you trust yourself? You do. Okay, that's good. Let's get a raise of hands. I want to see who trusts themselves with putting their value on that price tag. Who trusts? Let's be honest. Just be honest. Do you trust yourself with that number? Okay. So this is what I want to do. I wanted us to be transparent because we're talking about worth, right? And so when we talk about worth, we use the word worth. Easy. We'll say, oh, I know my worth. I know my value. I know who I am. We're so quick to say that, right? Right, ladies? But then how do we end up in a situation where our value is here and not what we said that we trusted our value to be? Right? Purity means the condition or quality of being pure. Freedom from anything that debases, contaminates, pollutes. Purity means that. And a couple of key things: debases, contaminates, pollutes. We allow ourselves to be polluted with a lot of stuff. Some was attached from way back when we were younger. Unexpectedly, right? Not understanding and knowing why did I get here? Yes, ma'am. Purity means the condition or quality of being pure. Freedom from anything that debases, contaminates, pollutes. I'm going to say it one more time for all the ladies who may not have got it. Purity means the condition or quality of being pure. Freedom from anything that debases, contaminates, and or pollutes. So I want to go into the cycle, because there's a cycle before you get your worth, right? So before you get this price tag, there's a process to make it. So I want to talk about the process that got us here. I want to talk about how many times I allowed myself to be polluted, how many times I allowed myself to be contaminated with things as if I was just nothing. How I allowed myself to be misused and abused, thinking I'm doing the right thing because I'm going to be a ride or die and I'm going to be here in this place. Not understanding and knowing the damage I was doing to myself. And so the price tag is the same, but the number on it changed. It began to change. And so I had one foot soaking in value and the other foot soaking in dirt. And the price tag represented some dirt that I had to deal with. Some dirt to where I didn't have my father in my home. I don't know what it is to have a dad. Some of the dirt that is affecting me is from me seeing the people in my home as women be devalued. What else did I have to see? I had to see myself in a shell. I had to see myself in a divorce. I had to see myself losing it all. And when we go through these different things, it affects our value, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Some of us say, well, my dad wasn't there. I'm okay with that. I really don't care. I'm not affected. Until one day, just at this probably very moment, that you realize you were affected. Because the value that some of you all, I don't believe, I haven't seen what you wrote, but I don't believe all of you put a value, just say as $1 billion. My value is at 1 billion, 1 trillion. I don't believe that. I believe that the honesty is going to come out to where things that happen to us in our lives has affected us so to where it changed our amount on the price tag. So now what I want you all to do is to take back the things that may have affected some of your value. So in other words, let me just ask a question. Let me ask this. What is something that can take away from your value? Boom. Absolutely. Yes. Good. That's a great example. Having sex before marriage. That is something that can take away your value. Because what happens is when you do that, now you have tested something. Now you have tasted something. And now you find yourself in a position to where this man took your innocence and now he no longer wants you because there's no real commitment. I can just leave. And so now you're there, misused and abused, and now you feel a certain way. Now, I don't know what all you guys' situation, but I know for me, I wasn't married when it was that first time. I was not married. And so that too has affected me along the way of what my value is. Even though, like I said earlier, having one foot soaking in value and the other foot in dirt. No matter how I said, there's no one that's going to disrespect me. I got much respect for myself. There's no way. But then there is a way. Those are the ways that we don't even acknowledge. That's the dirt. So now what I want you to do is, because we're going to build the value of this mannequin, of her. So let's just see what we come up with as far as the dirt. Let me get more. As far as the dirt goes. So she just used a great example as sex before marriage. There's something that has affected us in ways more than one that caused us to lose some of our value. Would you all agree? So while you all are writing that, I want to ask a question. Is she whole? Does she appear whole to you? Is she well put together? No? Yes? You said yes? Okay, so she said yes, no. I'm just asking a question. Just your honest feedback. We're just gonna be raw, real, and uncut. Honest feedback. There's no right or wrong answer. Okay, so she's not together. Okay. Does she appear to be together?
Almost.
Right, that's good. Exactly. And these are honest, this is honest. Almost, she appears almost to be put together. She's missing a piece of her. She's missing a piece. And so, in our lives, we miss a piece. It appears as if we have it all together. It can be one small fraction of us that'll put us in a position to where we're no longer whole. We're no longer together. And it's those tags that represent that on today. So I want you all to write that. Did you guys write? Because we gotta use the tags. We gotta put it on her. Oh, okay. So some of the dirt that you've gone through. So in other words, something that has taken, what do you think will take away your value? Something that will take away your value. Like she said earlier, having sex before marriage.
Write on the tag?
Yeah, write it on the tag. So another example, being abused, being molested, being raped, different things of such like that. And this is just something, whether you want to use somebody else, but I encourage you to use you, because it's therapy when you release and just be honest with yourself. No one's going to know whose tag is what, but I believe that we should just be real and honest on today, and that's how we can get to understanding how we're able to build our worth and our value and be able to be put back together. So is everyone done? Okay, great. So, grab all the tags. You guys are some beautiful ladies. Snatched, yes. Love my ladies, of course not. You are praise. I promise you. Anyone who knows me knows that I keep it real. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is begin to start building her. She has to have a price, right? If somebody wants to buy what's on the mannequin, she has to have a price. So there's different prices that we have to face getting where we are. So we have criticism. That's some dirt that we have to deal with. How many of you guys face criticism? How many of y'all have faced criticism? Let me ask you, how did that feel?
Not good.
Not good? So when you faced it, what was your result?
What do you mean?
So when you faced the criticism and you said it didn't feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then what was your next move as far as the action? What actions did you take after you was criticized?
I just took it in.
You took it in and you just kept it.
Yeah.
And you just let it go.
I mean, not let it go. I kept it bottled up for another time. Like to be petty, you know?
Exactly. And I love that. Exactly. Because that is being so real and honest. So you took criticism
Mm-hmm.
and you kept it.
Or look for something else that like to criticize them about. To make
Exactly.
them feel bad too. Something like
You
that.
kept it. And not only did you kept it for revenge. It affected you so much that you kept it. And there's still probably fragments of it there. So that's part of the dirt. So you have one foot of value to where you say you have it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other piece to where it's some pieces affected by something that someone said or something that happened in your life. Wow, this is a deep one. Wow. Being mistreated by your father. That's deep. How many of you all have been in a situation like that? That has been mistreated by their father? How did that make you feel at that time?
I felt very I cried.
And was it ongoing? It was ongoing. See, that little piece here and you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. Everybody, the answer. Just know that a piece of you has been affected. So now your worth. So you can subtract. So the price that you put, now you're subtracting it. So now your worth is less than what you thought. See, everybody had that number was ready. It was like, oh, okay, I got this number. But not realizing is there's fragments of us that devalue us, that take away from our value. Wow. We got some deep stuff in here on tonight, and I'm honored to be here. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Being bullied. Being bullied. How many of you all have been bullied? Let's just be honest. Wow. Let me see the hands again. You feel hopeless. So was it something recent? It was in the past. So it was a while ago. So somebody was bullying you, and then you felt hopeless. Subtract that. So now it pulls something out of you being bullied. So what did you do after they bullied you? What did you do? Because there's a lot of people that after they're bullied, they go and they hurt themselves. And they go and do all types of different things. What did you do? What what was your chain reaction? What was the next step that you did after you were bullied? You felt, worthless and all that stuff. What did you do to cope with it?
I talked to friends, my family about it.
You talked to your friends and family?
I still feel
Exactly. And you still feel that way? Are you still feel affected by it when you think about it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're getting ready to go deep, ladies. I don't know if y'all was expecting this. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna go deep. So let's add this to here. This is a real good one. Look, all of us can relate to this. Putting too much trust in a man. Come on now, y'all. Come on. Look, we all guilty. I'm sorry. Look, I know. Can't nobody just act like you ain't never, unless you've been up under a rock somewhere. But we all have been affected by this. Now, this is a deep one right here. I can just, y'all done brought something back up. Whoever done wrote this one, y'all done brought something up in here. Core value of this. Okay, so since everybody has been affected, everybody, right? Everybody trying to I don't want to say nothing. I don't do my business like that. But how many of y'all know that we're overcome by the words of our testimony? How many of y'all know that just even this very moment, we are able to release some things and just be safe in this place with each other? It's not about looking at each other like, I can't believe that girl. What, she got this? She got molested, she got raped, she got bullied. It's not about that in this very moment. It's about building us up, bringing us up to the next level, bringing our stock up, no longer allowing the things that affected us in our lives to control us any longer. These things are controlling us unknowingly. We sit back and we smile and we go through day to day, just like for an example of you, sweetheart, being bullied. You talk to your friends, you talk to your family, still affected by it. You're still broken, you're still hurt. Every time you think about it, it bothers you, it hurts you. And then when you're talking about a man here, putting too much trust in a man and they fail you and they let you down. The first one that let me down was my father. He wasn't there for me. Guess what? My father lived 10 minutes away. 10 minutes away. He never saw me. I never saw him. It was rare to none. My grandmother had to force him to see me. No father should ever have to be forced to see their own child and you 15 minutes down the road. There's no excuse for that. Once again, affected by that. Affected by it deeply. Not understanding that I don't understand what to do, what not to do when it comes to dealing with a man and putting your trust in a man, because there was no man there for me to even look at and to love and to understand what it is. I had to figure it out on my own, like a lot of us. We had to figure it out on our own. Oh, okay, well, this is what he said, so I'm going to put my trust in him. I'm going to believe him. I guess it's true. I guess it's right. We're still yet building and putting the price on her. Being misused. Like I said, I've been wrong, guilty, and understand and know and feel about being misused. Is that all of us? Has all of us been misused in some type of way? Doesn't literally have to just mean the opposite sex. I mean, it doesn't have to be that. We've been misused in so many other ways, whether it's in the house, out the house, or whatever. So we've all been misused, right? Okay, so call you. You thought I was trying to go through shade. No. And I said my lady was snatched. Y'all snatched. Beautiful. So, how did that make you feel at that very moment when you was misused?
I would say unappreciated. Like, you only want
subtract. It makes you feel empty. It took something from you when it happened. So when it happened, what did you do?
Basically remove that person.
Okay, so you removed that individual.
Yes.
So then, how long ago was that, if you don't mind me asking?
Maybe a year.
Okay, so how do you feel now?
I feel like I'm stronger.
You're stronger, but do you still feel that? Yep,
It's hard because you feel like another person is gonna do you the same way.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, something was subtracted, and now the dirt has been added. Remember, you got one foot soaking in value and the other foot soaking in dirt. So now I'm in a place where I lost something but gained something of no value. This one. Premarital sex, being rude to people, foul language, looking down on people. My God, this is deep. And I don't care who you are. Look, a lot of us have looked down on some people unknowingly. Let's keep it real. Looked at, why she look like that? Or look at what she got on her. Look at this. We have something to say about somebody at all times. Where did that come from? Where's the root of it? Why are we wanting to talk about someone else and destroy somebody else when someone else is living in their truth and living in their moment? Whether it's right or wrong, they're in their moment. So we all have a process like this tag. We can't get to the price of the matter until we go through the process to have a tag to put the price on. But we find ourselves in a position where we're criticizing people, looking down on people, foul language, being rude to people, premarital sex. And I love this person because this person got deep with it. Whoever this person is, she just didn't come with one. But when I had spoken and said it, she said, well, let me just be real here. Let me just write, because I got some stuff that is affecting me, and the fact that you recognize it and you know that's going to help bring your value up. Because now you're taking something that was affecting you, and now you're saying, I recognize it, and I'm writing it down, and let's talk about it. Whatever the exercise is going to be, I'm just going to expose it. I'm just going to put it out there. So whoever you are, kudos to you. And the looking down on people, I want to kind of go into that for myself because I remember when I first saw that, the first thing I thought about is seeing other women in a situation, not understanding why they're in a situation. I'm like, I'm looking down at her. In my mind, I'm saying she's stupid. This doesn't make any sense. Why would you do something of such like that? So I'm just looking all down at her to say, look, you have no value. It's ridiculous for you to even have to deal with or go through what you're going through, dealing with this man, right? So I'm looking down at somebody else. Now realizing that I was going to be faced with that very thing that I looked down on someone else about. And it helped me. It hurt me, but it helped me. And sometimes we got to be hurt. Sometimes we got to be broken in order for us to be rebuilt and whole again. Sometimes we got to be broken in order to be whole again. And so, another fragment. So, any of you all can indulge. So let me just pick, because some of y'all probably going to raise your hands. So I just got called on you, just pull it out of you. So we're going to say you. Yes. Yeah. Have you dealt with foul language, looking down on people, being rude to people, premarital sex?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say, like, looking out.
Okay, looking down.
Especially the way you say, like, you understand some business situation. She's like, I would never do that.
Right. Because you've never been in it, right?
That's true.
You've never been in it. I never was in it. I said, I wish I would allow someone to disrespect me, make me feel that way. I said, I would never go through that. She's stupid. She's crazy. Please, never. Until I was faced within myself. And I said, God, this ain't fair. I don't understand that this ain't fair because I'm not that type of woman. So why am I being mishandled, misused like this? Hey, this ain't right. But God says it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. It's used, the dirt is used to build you. We're built from dirt. The dirt is built to build you. We gotta have the dirt. How else are we gonna learn? If you never go through a test, you will never learn. You don't know what it feels or understand how to pass something unless you go through something. And so us looking down on somebody, let's chin check ourselves. That's something that we need to take a note on. Let's be careful on who we look down on. Let's be careful what we say out of our mouths about others. It don't matter because you don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through. People see me this way. You don't understand the battles and the struggles I had to face. I may be in here smiling with you. You don't know what I got to deal with when I leave here. And you have your peers, and all of you are here, and you look at someone and be like, here she comes again. She's loud. You don't understand why she's loud. She may be loud because she had never had a voice in her household. So she's using her voice now when she gets around other people. But we're going to criticize that because we don't know. Dirt. Oh, see, this is a real one. Broken relationshrelationship with Father. I'm gonna sit on this. Because trust me, I get it and I understand it. Which ladies in here who have struggled with the brokenness with their father? Many of us. Many of us. So let me ask all of you. Are any of you still struggling and dealing with the relationship with him? All of you?
Yes. It's like me and my dad, like, my dad's never, like, just been, like, he's not like a deadbeat, like, he don't pay child support, but I feel like to be a father figure, like, you have to, like, teach your child.
That's right, he's not present.
Like, he will talk, but it's like me reaching out to him, and it's not like he's not reaching out to me. I feel like I have to reach out to him more than he reaches out to me.
Okay.
Type of situation.
Okay.
So I feel like we don't really talk. Like, I feel like I see other people with their dads, and they're talking, and I see, like, how they interact with their father, and I feel like that's what I want, but I never had that. And I feel like it affects, like, a lot of my relationships. A lot.
That's deep, that's deep. And she's an example to having a father in her house, but her father's not present to her. He's there, but he's clocked out. She has to go clock in order even to have a conversation and connect with her father. And even when she clocks in to connect with her father, he's still not present. She's still not getting what she needs. She's longing for what she needs. And so in the meantime, she's going through the process of losing some of her value. So now she's tolerating some things from probably guys that you shouldn't, and that you know that you shouldn't, but you are. Because guess what? You go home every day and you have to tolerate your father the way that he treats you. He's a good dad, awesome, and all the other ways. You know, he's taking care of you, all that, but he's clocked out emotionally. There's no connection there. And you're crying out in a way to where you're like, okay, Dad, I really need you. So have you said that to him? Have you got to that place and you said, Dad, this is how I feel. I need you. I'm broken. I'm going through this because I don't have you. Have you ever had that moment?
I feel like there's no way I'd be able to even have that kind of moment with my dad. Like, just our relationship. Like, that's just not something I would ever say to him. Ever.
So why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
He's a very, like, stern person. Like, just the way he acts. Like,
So you feel that anything that you say to him, he's going to shut it down?
yeah, pretty much. Like, I could say something to him and then he won't understand where it's coming from. He just sees it as me just being, like, stubborn or just not being mature, like, not being respectful or something like that. Like, he can find a way to make sure that everything, all my problems are somehow, which they are rooted to me, but, you know, he'll make it, this is my fault. This is your
Right. And so that's part of the dirt. So with that, your value has been knocked down. You look like you had wanted to say something.
Well, like with my dad, he, like we would see him sometimes when we were younger, but like he would never like call, check up on us until like I got into high school, and then he'll like, well, y'all can call me sometimes, but I just feel like, why? When like all that time when I needed you, you weren't there. So why do I have to call you?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course that still affects you. That still hurts you. Have you seen the way that you interact with maybe a guy? You can see how the way that you're affected, the way that you're guarded, it's affecting you in your relationships. So have you, even though that he said, oh, you can call me and all that, have you ever had a conversation with him to let him know what you feel? So you never release anything. Right. So with both of you all, just with saying that, you said you would never say that because automatically you say that he will shut down, right? But if you never try, how will you know? How will you know if your words could break him down in a way that he's never been broke down before? The hardest person can be broke down. So if you just be transparent and I get what you're saying because you're looking like, well, you don't know my dad though. You don't know what I gotta go through and deal with. But you know what? It's affecting you so much. Just even your whole demeanor change. Like it's affecting you so much. It's not gonna cost you nothing. Because look, if anything, it's just gonna go back the same. But if you never try, you will never know how things could be. If you just take that moment out and just talk to him and just say, Dad, I want to talk to you. I just want to let you know how this has affected me. This has affected my relationships. This is why, okay, you said that I'm acting immature and you say this and you say that. This is why. I'm acting out because I'm trying to get your attention. I'm acting out because of this. See, a lot of times, if you never tell someone anything, so just say like if you're in a relationship with someone and they make you upset, right? And then they say, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? And you never say anything. A lot of times we just like, we don't want to talk. We don't want to say anything. And then guess what we do? We write it off like a tax write-off and we just keep it moving. We don't say nothing. And in their mind, they're like, well, what's wrong? What did I do? There was nothing communicated. So you can't find a resolve until you actually communicate. So just try that. Just try that. Just step out on faith and just do it. You just never know what can happen. And that's for anyone who's been affected or dealing with, the relationship, the brokenness of their father, if they still actually have a relationship and in communication with them. You just never know. I know some have tried. Look, I always say put a prayer on them. Even to this day, I still yet pray for my father. I don't have a relationship with him. And even to this day, it would be so nice just to say, hi, Dad, how are you? As old as I am, it would be so nice to be able to have that moment with my dad. Like you said, when you see other girls, out with their dads and stuff, you be like, hey, if I can just have that one moment, just to go to the park, just to sit and just have a sandwich, just to have a conversation, that one moment. So yeah, we were on this for a while, but I just want to encourage you all to open up and let them in. You're already affected and hurt already. So what else can they do? Because you're already affected. So and until you just let it out, and it doesn't have to be, it's just as if you were talking and having a conversation, and you just never know what will come out of it. Different things will begin to start shedding off for you. So I want to encourage you all to do it. But we'll keep moving. All Are you guys enjoying yourselves? Okay, somebody got real with this one. Let me see. Ooh. Can't really read this. I know it says cussing, sex, masturbation. Ooh, we about to go there. Because this, you know what, let me just say this, y'all. When we talk about masturbation, we're talking about purity, and we're talking about worth, and what it does. When you're talking about the dirt, somebody recognized and said, masturbation is dirt to them. Somebody said that, right? For a long time, for me, so many people would mention it to me in ministry. Because a lot of times it's not talked about, right? A lot of times you don't. What church you go to that they ever be that transparent and they talk about masturbation? This is something that we really need to dig into and talk about. Because in one sense, you're saying, well, I'm not with anybody. I'm still pure because ain't nobody touched me. So I'm good. Right? Then on the other end, you're like, look. So in other words, it's funny because God gave it to me so clearly. He said, look, he said, you're fornicating with yourself. You're fornicating with yourself. You're taking a part of your innocence. Now look, it's to each his own. I'm just saying what was given to me. You know, ain't no shade because everybody deal with their release the way that they have to deal with it. Mostly if they've been touched before. If you've been touched by a man before, then, and if you don't want to go there with a man at that time, and you just, you know, as women, we have those feelings arise, and we're like, oh, Jesus, I'm trying here. We're like, Jesus, let's just be real. Jesus, okay. So, you know, that. That is just so real, and I love us having this conversation, and I love you guys just being so transparent and so real with yourselves and bringing up topics like that. Let's talk about masturbation. You know, I know many of us, if not all, tried it, and yeah. So does anybody want to talk about how that, let me ask you this. Has masturbation affected the way that you, when you're around or when you're with a guy? Yes. Oh no, you were saying like your head.
Okay, yes.
Oh, okay, yes it did. Oh, do you mind elaborating and talking about it?
Okay. Well, okay, what exactly am I elaborating?
Okay, so as far as the masturbation part goes, so have you seen the difference, or has it affected you so to where you find yourself more so being attracted to the masturbation than that individual? Okay, so you have. Okay, so then that's being honest, real, and uncut. I love that. Thank you so much. And so these are the different things that we need to talk about because this is part of our work. This is part of our value. We're talking about purity. We're supposed to be keeping clank, 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 clank. Right, come on now. Yes, supposed to be. Yes, clank, tied up, but wrapped up and entangled only to our legs, not even our hands, because the hands will get us in trouble. The legs. But, and the reason why I ask that is because it can affect you in the future when you're intimate. Because you have taken a part of you for so many years or for such a time, and you have satisfied yourself. So now it's hard to be satisfied by a man in a way. Now I'm going to be real with y'all because I'm going to bring y'all to my house. And I ain't never been open like this. But you know what? You guys are being open. I'm going to be open. And so with me, I found myself being affected in a way with a man because I have never had that woo-ha moment, right? So I never had that woo-ha moment And so I didn't know how to get to the woo-ha moment. So because I had that moment to where I handled myself. And so after I handled myself at a time, and of course it didn't continue, but I did handle myself. And so now I felt myself, like you were saying, being affected by it. So when I did get married and I was with someone, there wasn't a release. And I was like, why can't I release myself? Like, I don't understand. But you were so caught up and entangled with pleasing yourself, now you don't fully know how to release and give it to someone else. Now, some people, they do. Some people got it just all the way around. But honestly, some people just got it. It's just honest. We're talking about work. We're talking about value. We're talking about behaviors. So with that, you find yourself being affected. You find yourself being affected in your relationship. And guess what? What does that do? That takes away from your value. It takes away from your worth. So you're affected by it. So wow. So this is, once again, we're all affected by it. We'll talk about it again. What y'all think is on this tag? What y'all think? What's on the tag is about the Father. Many of us are affected by our Father. By our Father. Because that's supposed to be the first man that we're introduced to. That's supposed to be the first man that is supposed to help build our value. So we can understand and know how another man is supposed to treat us. But if we never had it, now we're just in scrambles. We don't understand. We don't know. So we're just trying to figure it out. So I'm going to do a couple more. Let's check what time it is. Oh, this is. Yes. Thank you, Lord. Because we're going there, ladies. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so serious. Because y'all didn't have to be real. You didn't have to be raw and uncut like this. I wasn't expecting to see this type of stuff on here because some people want to be so safe all the time. And when you're safe, you can never be built. Cheating in a married relationship. Cheating in a married relationship. So, how many of you all have been cheated on? Okay. Cheated on. Okay. So let me look, you're known to be cheated on. Look, all of us ladies, all of us. So now, has anyone in here have not been cheated on? Oh. Hold on, bring your hands up. I got to see this because we getting ready to ask questions. Bring the hands up. Bring it up. Because I didn't know it was able. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. So you've never been cheated on? Oh, right. Okay. Well, give us a tap. Give us something here. Okay. So are you in a relationship right now? Okay, no. So prior to when you were in your relationship, as far as you know.
Right. As far as I know.
Right. That you didn't get cheated on.
No.
So you don't know nothing about being cheated on.
No. Not personally, no.
That is awesome. That's an awesome feeling. Right, that's awesome. Because when you get cheated on. Have y'all seen snaps?
Yes.
Kind of make you feel like you want to snap a little bit. That's not the route. That's not the route. But it makes you feel like you want to snap. So just pay. Look, we all are telling you in advance, pace yourself. Because you ain't, I'm praying that you don't have to experience that. But it's deep, it's real, it hurts, it's nasty, it's ugly, and it ain't no joke. Once again, early on when I was talking about it, like, I would never. See, I was the same way. I was like, cheated on. I don't know nothing about cheated on. Because I was like, I ain't get cheated on. As far as I know. As far as I know. And so I didn't experience that until when I was married. I was cheated on. I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know what that was. It messed me up. It messed me up. Guess what? It took away some of my value. Because how dare you? How in the world did I get cheated on? There's no way. We're thinking, well, look, we got this locked. I'm a good woman, and it ain't got nothing to just do with physical. I'm talking about I know what I carried on the inside, what I had, and what I brought to the table. So, what did you cheating on me for? Got it all. But it happened. So then let me go to you. Okay, so you've never been affected, so you've never been cheated on. Praise the Lord. So are you in a relationship right now? Okay, so you were in a relationship. How long were you in that relationship?
Well, I really haven't had like serious relationships, so that's the only reason why I feel like.
Okay. Okay.
So I know for certain I haven't been cheated on because there wasn't anybody to cheat on.
Okay. That's not fair, right? Okay, so then that's a blessing. That's good. So, so right now doing things of such like this, and you being a president, I think is so awesome because you're picking up so much stuff along the way to where it's gonna help you to hopefully not get cheated on. Because look, you don't want to be like these ladies. They was all on snaps. You didn't see that episode. They was on it. They did something. Put some sugar in a tank. They done did something. Okay, so you said you never got cheated on either? You. Okay, so are you still with him?
No, I'm in the same relationship.
Situation. Okay, so you're in the same boat. Okay. So what about you? Okay, but you never got cheated on. Okay, but you were with somebody that never cheated on you. Come on, give it to her. So how long were you in that relationship? So tried. No, but that's awesome though. But still, yet you never experienced that, and you never had that moment because I didn't. And it doesn't matter the time. The fact of the matter is that you can put that, write that, out and say, I've never been cheated on. And it's a blessing. But as you can see, the whole of us, like the majority of us, have, and we've been affected by it. Cheating in a married relationship. Does anybody want to expound on that and talk about that?
I'm the one that wrote that one.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about like myself. I'm not married. But I was
Okay.
talking about my mom and my stepdad's situation because
Okay.
he was like really my dad because I didn't really have my real dad. So like when he cheated on her, that affected me. So I was like, I can't trust him. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. No, that's real. And so now, look, that affected you there, right? And so that right there will carry you to have a fragment taken away from you. So that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. And so now seeing that, so how do you look at them now?
Like now, it doesn't really bother me, but at the same time, like if he were to like tell me something, and I'm like,
You can't tell me nothing because you done cheated. I don't trust you. Ain't nothing that you saying is right. I don't believe it.
but then at the same time, I'm like, but that's my dad.
Right. So you want to get to a place where you can be safe with him, right?
I feel like a perfect example for that is the movie Right Back in Maybe. The woman
Yes.
got cheated on. And like it kind of affected her in her next relationship.
That's right. That's good. That's right. And it goes back into, like I said, us being affected and a piece of our fragments being taken. Okay.
I understand this, as you said, if you're always saying you can't be built, but
Yes.
I wasn't cheating in a marriage relationship, but I was the cheater with the person in the relationship.
Okay.
I didn't realize anything dumb and being lied to, and then when
Right.
I did find out, I kept lying
You
to
kept going.
myself and kept digging in dirt. And didn't realize how it affects me until I got older and covering more of my whole life. It's different.
Right. And so you said that you were cheated on, right?
No,
No, you was a cheater, but you were cheated on, right? So can you imagine how you felt? Or can you imagine how they felt?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course.
That person's shoes, and then when I found it out, I was like, how can I be this person and betray myself and those people?
So like, how are you affected by it now? Like, do you feel at moments to where you, when you see something like, do you feel that at times?
Yeah, and
See?
can't face that person or the people I knew, and that was literally my whole high school years. I just chalked it up to that, so I don't even think about that and focus on that, and that's kind of the reason why I hate high school and who I used to be.
So still yet subtracting that something of such, like you was like, look, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about it, that's why I hate it, because I dealt with and I went through this horrible situation. I was naive, I just went with it and not understanding now what you did affected somebody else.
Right. And how it affected them in the future.
That's right. So guess what? That person picked up tags. So they were affected by what you did. So they picked up tags. So they got hurt based off what you did. And so you guys see how it can trickle down based off of like our father, our mothers, a boyfriend, how it can trickle down. And then once it's trickled down, how we ourselves can take that trickle down stuff and we can pour it onto someone else. And it can be affected in someone else's life.
That kind of going back to like if you messed with like I feel like I was naive in the past because I was messing with this guy and he was married and I knew he was married. But see, I don't listen to God when I need to. But he was like, you don't need to mess with him.
Right.
But I kept messing with him like he treated me as if I was his woman.
The wife, and
yeah.
then treat his wife as the mistress.
Right.
Been
So
there.
we went out to eat, we had intercourse or whatever. We like did everything like we was together. And then it like lasted like almost a year. And then I just reached my breaking point. I was like, I want to get married in the future. And I thought about being in her shoes. Okay, you made a commitment with this woman before God.
Right.
And you said your vows to her, but you messing with me and you're going against God and going against your vows. But I feel like, okay, if I did that, how would I feel
Come on
if my
now.
husband cheated on me because
That's
of
right.
what I did in the past?
That's right.
So I was like, okay, I gotta not do that anymore and ask God to Lord in the sincere forgiveness because I don't want to get married and then I go through what I did.
She had to
in the
go
past,
through.
yeah. Like he cheated on me because he cheated on me with another woman. And I'm the mistress and the wife or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow, and that's so deep. And thank you for opening up and saying that. Because like I said, if you're so safe and you don't release it, it can affect you in so many ways, more than one. Ways that we don't even understand. Like I said, we think we got it all together and we're just going through life. But as you can see, just having this open moment, isn't it just opening up? It's giving us full revelation of so much that we didn't even realize. Just simple moments like this. But these are the moments that we need. So once again, kudos to you for having such, a class like this, a purity class like this for us, because it's so needed. It's needed. We need to know how it affects us when we are having premarital sex, like, you know, and that is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge because now, okay, so now how are you affected? The aftermath. So I know that you thought about it, because let me just say this. A lot of times we're so deep and we'll say stuff like that. But do you ever find yourself or see yourself possibly in the same situation, or did you go back again in that same situation after you thought about it?
I did.
See?
We stopped talking, and then like some months after we ended up back talking, but when it kind of wasn't the same, because like when we started back talking, I was just like, I can't keep doing this, because I do want to be married in the future, and off of my decisions, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want my husband to cheat on me. I don't want to be the only woman for him, and be the only man for me, and I don't want to be cheated on because of what I did in the past.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I asked God to put it in the sea of forgiveness or whatever, and hopefully, I know I'm not ready. He's still working on me and building on me, but when I am, he do send Mr. Right or whatever. Yeah, I just want to be ready.
You just want to be, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not ready right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your piece right there. You see that hand? That's your piece. Like you said, you're not ready right now. But we're getting to a place to where we can be made whole. We're getting to that place to where you'll
So
have
then
it
it's
all
like,
together.
married guys, because I don't know, I guess that's what I attract them. Because like married guys always try to talk to me. And I be like, no, Tanika, we not going to talk to a married guy, because being married is sacred.
That's right.
That's
It
a
is.
vow
It's
between
very
God
sacred.
and the couple. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely very sacred. And as a ex-wife for myself, being married, being in that situation, and seeing my husband cheat on me, it ain't no joke. So just as you're talking, just know, like, for instance, I'm that other woman. You know what I'm saying? And how it affected me, and how I picked up all these tags along the way, just from that incident that happened when he did that. And so it affected me in such a way to where it broke me. It broke pieces of me. And so then I had to go trying to build up the pieces. Trying to put all my pieces back together. Couldn't find some. And still, I think all of us is a work in progress. So we'll keep moving. Let's see, ladies.
She had a question.
Oh, someone had a question. Yes, sweetheart.
Okay, so I just want to piggyback for like a half a second,
Okay.
because I just got here. And you was talking about the tags, how like when stuff happen, you add tags.
Yes.
This Sunday, my pastor was saying that instead of saying tags, he said like you're bleeding on someone because you have so many open sores and so many wounds that when you get into a relationship or you make a friendship with somebody, your issues, you're bleeding onto them, and you need to
That's
like
right.
get intact with God and let God like patch you up or
That's
spend
right.
time with yourself to cover up those wounds, and you will stop bleeding on people.
That is so awesome. Yes. And to go back into what we were talking about too, since you walked in, I was talking about having one foot soaking in value and the other foot soaking in dirt. And like, as your pastor gave that great example of like, look, we're bleeding on people. Like, bleeding on people. I'm saying, look, we're picking up all this dirt. We're picking up all this dirt. So just remember, you're picking up a lot of dirt along the way. And so the price tags are considered the dirt. And we'll get to the dirt of the matter even more in just a minute. So allowing someone to treat you treat you a certain way. Yes. That is so deep, y'all. Let me just bring it home to me before I get to you guys. Because I remember in my marriage, I allowed some things to happen because guess what? I was committed. So in my mind, I said, for better or for worse, till death do us part. So if it's for better or for worse, I'm a ride or die. So I'm going to handle this in a way to where I'm going to overlook this. And I'm just going to pray about it. I'm not going to worry about it. But he was treating me in a way that was not pleasing to God at all. And because in my mind, I'm saying for good or for worse, or death to his part. So I'm going to stay right there and support him, but not understanding that is not the way that we've been treated, misused and abused, all the things that we're talking about. That is not the way that God intended for us to be treated as women. That is not the way that he put us together whole. He didn't put us together whole for us to have a fragmented part of us, because we wasn't born with a handoff. We weren't born like that. It came off along the way. So let's talk about it. Allowing someone to treat you in a certain way. Who wants to talk about that? Who's been affected by that?
What was it? Allowing the person to treat you
A certain way. And so, of course, a certain way is not a good way.
Well, I've overlooked a lot of stuff. You, I guess, can't go off of. Well, it's easy. It's easy to get caught up in what a man will say to you, like get caught up in his words.
Right.
And then he say he gonna do this, so you expecting him to do what he said he would do, but then he do something else. And then he say that he'll wait as long as you want him to wait, but he really don't want to wait. So
Right.
He tell you what you want to hear, basically.
Absolutely.
But he tell you what you want to hear, and then he like go around,
Mm-hmm.
then
Slide yourself in.
Yeah.
Slide.
He'll say something that you want to hear. Like he told you, okay, I'll wait for you because you don't want to do nothing right now. But really, he didn't mean what he said.
Right.
Because he's still trying to get in your drawers or whatever. So
Absolutely.
he'll say, don't laugh at me.
I love it because it's real though.
It's real.
Like he's right. He's trying to get
Yeah, so he'll
he's
like.
trying to get in. Okay.
So he'll say whatever he gotta say. He'll say and do whatever he have to do to get what he wants from you. But he's not honoring what he said. And then you consider yourself this godly woman, okay. Like you said, we say, well, that's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna do that. But then it was like, okay, well, God said that we could come to him and we could repent and forgive or whatever. But then you just like, you overlook what you said that you weren't gonna do, and then you end up doing it. And then after it's done, you be like, why did I do that? And then you
Right.
regret what you
Exactly.
did. And
Exactly.
you blaming God for something that you knew was wrong.
Come on now. How many times we're in that situation? We're so quick to blame God.
What is your fault?
It's called free will, okay? Free will. He's giving you free will. It's your fault. You made that decision. Yes, we are.
I think in the relationship that I was in, I allowed him to treat me a certain way, but I don't think that I was really caught up in him. Like, I don't know, I wasn't really caught up in him. Like, I was more focused on, like, how his family loved me. Like, I think I was more worried about that, because I don't know why. It was weird, but I just, maybe it's because my family isn't really that close. I don't know, I've been looking for
but then you were getting a piece of him, which was his family, that you never had in your own home. So you're like, wow, this feels good. Like, this is nice to have a family. And as you're talking, I mean, I've been there in that situation too in my marriage, where I love my in-laws so much. I was like overlooking certain things. You know, I've never been that naive. You know, I'm street smart. You know, I'm book smart. I'm all that, but I've never been that naive type. But you know, when you love someone so much, you just love them to the core. So it's just like, man, I love you so much. Don't do it again. But guess what happens when we do that? When we keep giving people passes, oh, here's a pass today. Here's a pass tomorrow. Here's a pass. Here's another pass. You done ran out of passes. And so, with you giving those passes away, what it does is it puts them in a position to continue to mistreat you. Because guess what that tells them? She's going to forgive me. She's going to let it go. All I got to do is come back and say this or say that. She'll come right on back to me. Yes, honey.
Was it like that before you got married?
No.
Was it?
That's the truth.
That's kind of scary. Like, you're, like, you say, like, you say, you know, like, you weren't naive and, like, you were giving passes, like, during the marriage, but then, like, I don't think that you would get into a marriage if you knew.
Absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you asked that, because that's so key that everyone needed to hear that, and for me to even expound on that. It's because I am a woman of God, and I had a singles ministry. Deep off in my singles ministry and everything like that, then this individual comes along thinking he was a real man of God, thinking he was a minister. Look, talk about it. Let's talk about it then. Girl, look, he done tricked me. Look, we talking, look. I'm thinking I done married an awesome man of God. Now look, this is part of
come in here and shout out.
right. Look, 10 years, y'all. 10 years, like people wouldn't believe. I was single for 10 years. 10 years. Then I met this man. So let me just go back further. When I was 19 years old, I got married. Church girl, living for God. Because I was like, ain't nut cracking, right? And so I got married. We were together. Only lasted a year. After that, I said no. I said, God, I want your will. And I said, God, I will not move until I hear your voice. There's no way. People was like, how in the world did you stay single for 10 years? Is that possible? Yes, it is. You know, with all that attention that look us ladies can get all the time, but my worth, my value, I had it up here to where there was no way that nobody can get to me, because my value blocked them. My worth blocked them. So they couldn't get to me. So in my mind, I said, there's no way that I'm going to take a 5-second thrill over my value. There's no way. So I love myself so much to where I said, I'm not going to deal with this. Just to say I'm in a relationship, just to have a title, or I'm a girlfriend, you know, or hey, I am a wife. I'm a wife with someone that is misusing and abusing me. There's no way. And so you have all these offers that I know many of you guys get, all types of offers, all types of guys that try to talk to you. And that's where I was. I was shut off. No way no one can get to me. Done. Next thing you know, here comes the enemy. I ain't interested, because I wasn't interested like that. Because I'm so busy and focused on ministry. Because look, if I didn't see the fruits of the Spirit all the way around, and if God didn't reveal it, you know, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Right. So in order to be found, he had to go check with God. In order to be found, he had to check with God, and then God had to check with me, and not check with me, let me know. This is it. Right? And so I couldn't even, nobody could get to me because I wasn't hearing it. So a lot of men would say, and I'm doing a series like this too, a lot of men would say, you're my wife. The devil is a lie. You're my wife. I said, look, y'all. I said, look, I have a relationship with God like you claim to have a relationship with God. I said, God ain't told me nothing like that. He ain't told me nothing like that. See, look. I said, I'm not it, honey. I'm not it, honey. And there's so many things. Now, I'm going to get to talking about going further, but I want to talk about this. So there's so many things how, for me, I checked people off quickly and how I was able to stay celibate, how I was able to stay, to myself and kept by God, is that I knew my value. I knew what I wanted and what I wasn't going to tolerate. A lot of us don't know. See, a lot of times I can go one by one and say, what are you looking for? And what you'll say is the surface stuff. Well, I want a good man who's going to respect me, who's going to be sweet, who's going to do this, who's going to take care of me. See, it's more deeper than that. It's way more deeper than that. There's so much more pieces of that surface stuff. And we're so focused on the surface stuff that we miss it. And that's how we get tricked. That's how we become, in la-la land to the situation and miss everything else. And so I got to the point to where in those 10 years I was building myself up. I was building my value. And how I was building my value is I kept saying no. I kept saying no to just any and everything. And even though I wanted to go out, when you see people on Valentine's Day, look, I'm still single. So look, on Valentine's Day, you see people and you be like, but then in my mind, I said, there's no way I'm going there. I'm not going to be another statistic. I am not going to allow a man to misuse and abuse me and treat me anyway. It is not going to happen. So going back to what you had asked, look, that man had to work for it. Okay? He had to work for it. A lot. So let me just tell you the story. Guess where the first place we met at? You better know it. You better know it. And it was months, like 3 months. And he still couldn't communicate because what I had, it was like an online singles ministry or whatever. So we're communicating online. You ain't getting my number. Ain't cool like that. I'm still checking you out. I'm still checking your temperature. I got to see this. And so I'm checking them out and stuff like that. So we met at church. And so this is how cold I was, y'all. He says, okay, because me can be slick, y'all. He says, so how can I get in touch with you, because I want to go to, visit your church and stuff. So how can I how can I get a hold of you just in case I get lost or something? I said, oh, hold on. The church number is 972-454. I sure did. He will tell you the story to this day. I gave him the church number, y'all, and I said, if you get lost, somebody gonna tell you how to get to the church. Because it's not gonna be me, okay? It ain't gonna be me. Oh no, I'm telling you, I was cold. I told you I'm straight smart. Like, you're not gonna get over. You're not gonna get me. It's not gonna happen. And so, went on to church or whatever. After that, still didn't get my number. And so, I paced myself. I paced myself. A lot of times we just jump into something. I paced myself because I really had to pray. I really had to hear, God, is this you? Mostly for me, being single for 10 years, I had to pace myself and to really see, God, is this it? God, what are you saying? Because in my mind, I'm saying, the reason how he got to the church was not for like, oh, okay, this is our first date, is he was talking about, oh, what ministry you go to? Because I go to this one. I was like, oh, you're welcome to come to the church. Can we ride together? Ride together? I won't be riding with you, but you can. And I said, if you need a ride, I can give you the number to the church van. You have to make them work for it. Because, look, a lot of times men have it so easy nowadays. All they got to do is walk up and they got you. So desperate now. The women I see are so thirsty and desperate just to have a conversation, just to be in a relationship. Because they see everybody else, and social media is so big. I said, no, baby, you're going to have to work for this. It's not going to, and I tell them, I said, let me just tell you right now, it's not going to be a walk in the park. And I'm going to hold, and this is what I tell them, I'm going to hold you accountable for what you say. So remember the passes. We're so busy. Oh, you can have a pass, babe. Oh, okay, I get it. Oh, no, you're not getting the pass. I'm going to hold you accountable for that. And so for me, he played his part, girl. Check one. Look, the enemy, of course, he knows our likes and our dislikes. Girl, he played their role to. I said he needed an Academy Award. Girl, I almost went out to the Dollar Tree and got one of those awards. I said, baby, you need this because you did that to get me. Okay? Locked down for 10 years to get me, you need that award. And so he played his part. He played his position. He didn't pray for me, P-R-A-Y. He prayed on me. He P-R-E-Y'd me. He prayed on me. And he got me because he played his position. So it wasn't no friction. There wasn't no kickback. So normally if you say something or do something or you're frustrated or whatever your situation is, a man nowadays, they go see, a shinka shot. They mad at you, so I'm going to go call a shinka shot. I'm going to leave and I'm going to go see a shinka shot. I'm just saying. And so...
That's her name?
What?
That's her name?
No, I'm making that up, y'all. No, that's a made-up name. So my made-up names for women is Ashika Shay, Susie, and Becky. So you went on down the way to Susie, okay, or you went on down the way to Ashika Shay. So I use those different things. But yeah, and so it's just not going to be a walk in the park. So it wasn't. And so I kept my integrity along the way. There was no funny business at all until I was married. I kept them closed. Make a man work for it. Make a man work for the value. You have to work in order to spend. You can't get this dress. You can't go to the store and buy anything unless you work for it. You have to work for it to get the money. So now you have the money, now you can get it. That's the same way, that's the same principle, that's the same value that you have to make sure that these men work for it. And I always tell the men, I'll let you know too, it's a little secret. And for me, I own it. I'm like, look, I'm not doing anything into marriage. I just want you to know that ain't nothing going on. And if they're talking about anything otherwise, just know that's not it. They're not for you. They want what they can have for the moment. Once they get you, now you're no value to them. You lost your value in the moment in that 5-second thrill. You're worthless to them now. I got what I wanted. So some men will work hard. Some men will marry you just to get. For me, he looked at me like, okay, she hasn't been with anyone in 10 years. She's this, she's that, she's the boss, she's the businesswoman. She has all this stuff going on. She's a challenge for me. I got to get that. So even if I have to play the part and play the role to get married, I'm going to do that. That's what he did. So he played it, he put that mask on. I said, Lord, how didn't I see it, God? How couldn't I see it? But remember what I told you guys earlier. I was that woman who said, I would never. Girl, how can you put up with that? How can you deal with that? But God, just like I always say, like I'm like a Job story. He saw fit, he called my name. When he called Job, he said, Job, have you, the enemies, going to and fro, seeking whom he can devour. And God says, look, have you considered my servant Job? He says, have you considered my servant Venus? All that I had to be put through, on the levels of what Job had to go through, just imagine that everything a woman can go through, I went through in my relationship with him. And I remember me saying, God, enough is enough. And God said, no, enough is not enough. I said, now wait a minute, God. I said, enough is enough. I said, God, I've been through so much. I said, I'm tired. Get this off of me. I want out now. And he said, no, daughter, enough is not enough. Because the platform that I called you to be on requires this much pain. It requires this much brokenness. I can't reach you. I can't reach the women that I have reached if I never would have went through. I can sympathize with you all day. But it goes back into being judgmental, judging someone based off of not even knowing their situation. Because you ain't never walked in their shoes. So now, on every level, I get it. So I sit there and I cry with you. I pray with you. I encourage you. I pour into you. I give you nuggets because I get it now. I'm no longer on the outside. I get it. And so with that, it built my value. So what the devil meant for bad, God meant for good. And so even though that I was subtracted in ways, God said, don't worry, daughter. You don't see it, but I'm building you. You don't understand it, but I'm building you. And that's what was happening. So all that dirt that was being thrown on me, all that junk that was being put on me, all the brokenness and all the hurt and the disrespect and the lies and the manipulation and all that stuff, didn't realize it was building me to the point and to the place where I am today. And I'm the most happiest and I'm at peace today. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful now that I can say, thank you, Jesus, because at that time I didn't know if I was going to get out. At that time, how? And I haven't even got a chance to read all these other ones. But let me ask you this, because, you know, playing it safe, I stayed safe for so long, and I never wanted to put myself out there. I never wanted to be transparent, ever wanted to be transparent. But today, I'm so grateful that I can be in a position to be transparent. Has anybody been in a position where they wanted to commit suicide? A lot of times, guess what, y'all? It is in silence. Nobody knows. People may see your life and be like, oh, she's popular. Oh, she got it going on. She's smart. She's this, she's that, right? And people look at me and they're like, you want to commit suicide? I did. Let me tell you how bad that relationship broke me. It broke me to the core. Because I had never been through nothing like that. It broke me to the core. And I said, God, I'm living for you. I'm breathing for you. I'm doing everything that you want me to do. I said, God, I'm not out here Jezebelling. I'm not out here loose. I'm doing everything that you called me to do, God. Why? I couldn't understand it at the time. But in my mind, all I kept hearing is, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. And going through that process, and I'm sitting there in the car, and I said, God, I said, I want out. I said, I've been faithful. I've been dedicated. I was single for 10 years, and I finally get a man, and I'm thinking that this is the man of my dreams. I'm thinking he's a minister. I'm thinking we're going to have an awesome marriage, a marriage ministry and all that, and then turn around, God, it blows up in my face the first week. God, I attached myself to this man. I opened myself. I wouldn't give myself to no one because I had walls. A lot of us, we have walls, right? And so everybody can't get our walls down. And so I was in a position where I let my walls down for the first time because I said, God, I trust you and I believe this is you. He's an awesome man of God. I said, God, I'm going all in this time. I'm going all in. Y'all, I went all in. And when I went all in, it messed me up. I never knew what a heartbreak was because I always had my walls up and I always played it safe. I said, oh no, you're not going to hurt me. Because I didn't see other girls get hurt back in the day when I was younger. And I was like, you're not going to do me like that. So I always kept my walls up. But this time I let everything down. And I loved him the way that he was supposed to be loved and all that good stuff. I said, God, I want out. And I began to start contemplating. I said, let me see how I'm going to do this. I said, God, because and in my mind, you know, because you know we don't supposed to commit suicide. You know, I'm trying to make it to heaven. But in my mind, I said, God, stricken me with a disease. God, if I just drive this car into this. I said, well, maybe if I just slit my throat. God, what do I need? I just want out. I'm tired of feeling all this pain. I've been single just about all my life. I've been living for you. I've been breathing for you. And all I ask is for a good man. All I ask is for someone to love me and treat me with respect. Treat me the way that you called for a man to treat. I didn't get that. It didn't last long, y'all, in that moment, because I snapped back. Because remember, though he slayed me, yet will I trust him. And I always said, when I gave my life over to Christ, it stopped being about me and it started being about him. And I said, God, for God I live and for God I die. And if I died in that very moment, it wouldn't be for him. It would be for the enemy. And I said, no deal. And so you're like, how did you get yourself? You know what? I began to start building myself back up again. Kept going to church. Y'all go to church. Yes.
Do you ever think that you will ever have another mental load? Because my mom, she went through the same exact thing you went through, and I'm starting to feel what she's going through because it's like she feels like no man can ever love there's not a man out there, and now she's
Right.
so hard on me because she's like, you can't talk to this guy or this guy's not gonna be good for you because all thing he's gonna want is sex. But I just feel like that's not the case all the time.
Right. Absolutely. It's not the case all the time. I want you to know, look, if Ruth was found in the field, you can be found wherever you are. And God will send, if it be God's will, yes, we will have someone. And just because we went through something, right, doesn't mean that you're going to go through the same thing, because we all have different stories. We all have different backgrounds. You see people who are in healthy relationships, healthy marriages, and then you see people that are not. And so even with that being said, she has some deep-rooted things in her that she still needs to deal with. She's broken. She's still yet broken, and she can't get past it. And for me, for a moment in time, I said, I don't want nobody. I said, God, I'm done. I said, I waited for 10 years and then go through all this, stay faithful, stay committed to you. Even in the midst of going through the abusive relationship, I stayed committed to God. I still had to serve in ministry as a leader with a smile on my face, serving in my pain. And so I said, God, I'm done. I said, I'm done. I said, I don't want nobody. Don't send nobody to me. Can't nobody get to me. I'm done. But then just all of a sudden, once again, when you have a relationship with God and not a love affair, you can really go deep with Him. You can really go deep. So no love affairs, but an actual relationship with God. When you have an actual relationship with God, He'll begin to speak to you some sweet melodies. And He began to just start speaking to me, and He just said, daughter, I'm not finished. My God. I'm not finished. So you have a book, and you're turning the pages, right? You're turning the pages. He says, daughter, it's just another chapter. I'm not finished. It's not over yet. And so I said, okay, God, I trust you. And so after a while, it didn't take long, but after a while, I said, wait a minute. I didn't go through all that I went through of building myself in God and trusting Him, right? To, at that very moment, now doubt Him. As if He's not able to bless me exceedingly abundantly above all that I can ask, think, or imagine with a man of God who's going to love me and treat me the way that God intended Him to treat me. Ain't no way. So I began to start building myself and say, and whether it's motivational quotes, whether it's, for me, like I was saying earlier, yeah, I go to church. That's what helped me. I kept going to church. I kept serving. I kept staying busy in the battlefield. Once again, and I brought up Ruth because she was busy in the field. I was busy in the field. And so after my marriage and stuff, it's been 3 years for the second one. So it's been 3 years and I've been single, but I've been so busy in the field. And let me tell you, sweetheart, I don't doubt God. I don't care how bad it looks right now, and I can say, and I know you guys can all attest, these men ain't about nothing nowadays. They ain't about nothing. They ain't no good. They scandalous. Look, it's just real. But I would say men are broken just like we are. There's no one talking to the men. Nobody's dealing with the deep-rooted issues with the men. So they don't know. And so it's not for us to sympathize and be stuck and get hurt because they don't know. But just to say they don't know, like we don't know on some levels. And so they've picked up a lot. Can you imagine picking up a lot of this stuff and no one not ever talking to you? Them not having no father figure, and that's the most important thing for them. They don't have no father figure. All they have is the streets. All they have is the music videos. All they have is what they see on TV. They see Stevie J. That's my role model. Love. That's the role model. That's all they got. They ain't got nobody else. And so they think it's okay to juggle different women and all that different stuff. I want to say this. We carry so many tags, ladies. We carry so much stuff. And it's time for us to break the chains of that hurt, of that pain, and all those things that we have allowed ourselves to be attached to. So earlier, like I was talking about the dirt, these represent the dirt. But one thing I love about God is that dirt can come off once it's clean. You can get in the shower and wash that dirt off. The dirt can't stay if you clean yourself. So the dirt begins to start falling off of you as you clean yourself, as you build yourself, as you expose yourself. I did a My Life Story conference, and when I went through all the stuff that I went through, y'all, in that marriage, right? God said, expose yourself. I've always been quiet behind the scenes. I'm telling all my business. Ain't gonna be me. But he told me to do it, and I had to be obedient. Do you know the masses? Look, a lot of the women, they were revived and restored just because I gave my testimony, just because I laid it out on the line. I began to start building myself when I started releasing myself. When I started cleansing myself from those things that were in my mind. And so I had to look at myself. And I had to commit to myself. See, we're so quick to commit to a man. But we're so slowful to commit to ourselves. We won't commit to ourselves. We won't commit to ourselves to say that I love myself enough that I won't allow a man to do this to me. But we can commit all day. And so as we commit, we pick up these tags. And we continue to get broken along the way. And I remember seeing something, T.D. Jakes was talking to a young lady on his talk show, and he had $100 or something. And I don't know if you guys seen that. And just say $100 bill. And he tore it up. And he says, what is this? She says, $100 bill. Dropped it, he stepped on it, picked it up. What is this? It's $100 bill, right? And I seen that, I got that, I was like, oh, that's so powerful, but God took it a little further for me. He says, daughter, it's still $100 bill, but it's not valuable unless it's whole. Check it. You can't spend it unless it's whole. If you take half of the $100 bill into a retail store, you can't spend it. It has to be whole in order for it to have value. Y'all don't hear me. Look. It has to be whole in order to have the value behind it. There's no value behind it unless it's whole. So you can have your name. You can have, but if you're not whole, there's no value to it. Right? And so let's look at our price tags. Let's see where our value is right now. Who wants to just be real and just yell out what they wrote?
I mean, not no value, but infinity.
Okay, you put infinity. Okay. Everybody want to be quiet. Hold on. I'm just gonna pull the tags. Let me just collect them. Let me collect. I ain't gonna put y'all out there in the streets like that. It's all right. I'm gonna collect the tags. I'm just gonna call it out. I take this couple. Look, see the handwriting and nothing. Who it is? Unless y'all put yourselves out there.
I don't know why you're acting shy. Y'all be talking to you all the time.
real talkative group, and I said, okay, awesome. But you know what I think is that y'all probably wasn't expecting nothing like this. I don't know what type of classes y'all normally get, but y'all probably wasn't expecting this type of stuff. You're like, oh, this caught me off guard. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, so we got 3 minutes, y'all. So real quick. Okay, someone put $10. Someone put priceless. Someone put $30.99. $1 million. $80. None. So let me just say this, y'all, as I'm looking at all this. Someone didn't put anything. $850. $10 million. Somebody got real estate like $1 million. I am priceless. You cannot afford me. Yes, I love that. But look, y'all, I want to read this. We didn't even get to the sheets because God had a different plan, and I can pass those out. But God had a different plan, and I didn't know which way God was going to take me. Look, I had notes and I had a different structure plan that I was going to do, but God says no unscripted. And so $30.99, $10. And I said, be real with it. So a lot of you are living beneath who you are supposed to be. And so now I'm praying and hoping that you guys can rewrite your tag. That you can pull something, take something from this class and say, I am better than my past. Because this is your past in the next second. In the next second, this is my past. So now it's your opportunity to rewrite it. You don't ever have to be on this level. I was shocked because I really thought the job was going to be like $1 trillion, all extra. But y'all kept it real because I said in this very, very moment. So a lot of you all are at that place, that low. And I'm just praying that y'all got something out of this. I want to read this to you all because I saw it and I just thought it was just so amazing. And I have a scripture, I know, but I got a couple more minutes. But I want to read this to you all because it says, look, if you are not being treated with love and respect that you deserve, check your price tag. Perhaps you marked yourself down. It's you that determines what your worth is by what you accept. Get off the clearance rack and get behind the glass where valuables are kept. The worth is not in the price tag. It is in you. The tag is carried by the worth. The tag